Hey Rosebuds, welcome to the Rose Garden, where we will be discussing important social issues and trending topics. I'm your host, Nyeri Rose. Okay, welcome in, Rosebuds. My name is Nyeri Rose, and I'm your host for the Rose Garden podcast. Just a little bit about me. I am a mother of two. I'm wifey. I'm also 28 years old. Birthday is March 24th, so it's Aries. Aries in the building. Big ram. Big energy. Okay? And I'm just really excited to be starting my very first podcast. I'm literally learning everything as I go, but I just knew that it was time for me to share my stories, share my experiences, and share my voice on a platform where I could just speak freely and openly to whatever audience receives me, honestly, because I just feel like we're living in crazy times. A lot of things are happening, and tomorrow's never promised for anybody. So while I'm here, while I'm still breathing, I want to share my gift of just talking, because I talk a lot. Believe it or not, I have so much to say, and I'm actually working on listening as well. That's why I want to do a podcast. That's why I intend on having guests on my podcast. So sometimes I can just take the, back seat and just listen. Because listening is very hard, especially actively listening to someone else. It's difficult, it's challenging, but you start to become mindful of other people and their experiences, and you can find semblance in sometimes what they've gone through. Maybe you're figuring out like maybe my situation wasn't as bad, so I need to relax. Just because I don't know, people just go through so much, and we get so caught up in our own woes and traumas, but we're not living this life or this earthly realm alone. And sometimes it's good to hear other people. I know it's going to be healing for me just speaking about some of the things that I've been through and having conversations just about almost anything that comes to mind. I want to talk about past traumas, as well as how I move forward and just moving forward in general, which is part of the healing process and a part of my growth and the growth of others. I want to talk about overall wellness and self-care, because I'm still trying to figure out what exactly self-care is and what it means, and how I go about it, how I go about the process of healing and doing that internal work to kind of sift through, the pain that I've experienced in my life, at least, and some of the hardships that I've overcome throughout my 28 years of living. So that's what the Rose Garden is all about. I'm trying my best to figure out, when I say whoever my audience or whatever audience will receive me, I'm trying to figure out, who I want to influence, because you have the word influencers and, content creators. And yes, that's what I'm aiming to be, is an influencer, I guess, but not really, because the only person that I'm trying to influence, at least in this moment in time, is myself. And just have conversations with others who are just looking for clarity in life, trying to make meaning in life, meaning of their life, and finding their purpose. Because we use those terms so vaguely, like, oh, I'm on a spiritual journey, and oh, I'm trying to find my purpose, and I'm trying to find, peace and all these things. But how intentional are we about the things that we're trying to manifest in our lives? How intentional are we about the things that we're trying to find and the goals that we have and the journey that we're trying to be on, when finding peace, when on a spiritual journey, when detoxing ourselves and healing our bodies and going on a weight loss journey and just doing all these different things, yoga, whatever it might be, Are you doing it because that's what you need and that's what feeds your soul? Or are you doing it for the gram? Are you doing it for other people? So I just say all that to say, I don't want to hold anything back when I'm having my podcast and I'm speaking my truth. I don't want to hold any pain in my heart anymore. I don't want to hold any tension in my body from the things that I've experienced. And everything that I say, everything that I talk about, it has to be from a place of love. It has to be from a place of hope, and just having the expectation that when I speak it out loud, it will cease to exist for me. At least when I talk about it, there will be healing. There will be someone who resonates with what I'm saying, regardless if I know them or not. Just kind of opening Pandora's box to the possibility of what could be. And hopefully what could be for me is a place of peace and positivity for my future and my future endeavors. That's really just the Rose Garden, because we all know, and if we don't know, then now here I am trying to enlighten you. But roses are beautiful. They're gorgeous flowers, but they also smell bad, and they also have thorns. And I think that is very reflective of humans, human nature, society. You know, some people are made perfectly, divinely, and some people have, a stank on them, and they have thorns. And even those perfect people, they still have flaws. Like, we all have flaws. It's just we choose which ones we want to stand out versus which ones we tend to love and embrace more so than the other. And so, also Tupac, he wrote a poem, and basically it's along the lines of, out of the concrete grew the rose. And regardless of my middle name also being Rose, I just wanted to use rose as that symbolism for imperfect people coming together and talking about their imperfections, and using that as a tool and a resource and a platform and a foundation to find beauty within ourselves. And so I say that as I'm manifesting the Rose Garden podcast into my life, and as I'm starting this new venture, and I'm still doing that spirit work within myself, and I'm, working towards my purpose. I say all that to just use my podcast to reflect naturally, reflect honestly, and with integrity, and also with respect to every person and every situation. And I just can't wait to go on this journey with everyone, with my rosebuds. That's what I want to call y'all, my rosebuds. I just can't wait to do that. Like, I'm so excited. Being a mom, it's kind of just like the greatest gift you could receive, having a child, giving birth. And not everything about childbirth is pretty. Like, there are some gruesome moments, and there's some times where you're just in pain and you're anxious and you're nervous about what's to come and what life you're bringing into the world. And then not only that, after you have the child, you're nurturing that child, you're caring for it, you're watching it grow. And so the Rose Garden, this is my baby. This is like everything to me. I have no idea where this is gonna go, but like I said, I remember I posted, even if I'm my only follower, even if I'm my only listener, I know that the Rose Garden is gonna be great, regardless, period. Okay, it's gonna be great, and it's gonna be therapeutic for me. And for those who are tuning in, I promise that we're going to laugh. Sometimes we might cry. Sometimes we might reflect and be like, ooh, am I that girl or am I that guy? Did I really do that? Maybe I need to switch it up. Maybe I need to, change a couple things so that I can be a fruitful person, a better person, an awesome person, enhance my person just a little so that when I'm walking through this world, I know exactly who I am and I don't need anybody else to validate my experience for me. So, with that being said, welcome to the Rose Garden. Stay tuned for more episodes and content. And always remember that when life throws you thorns, search for roses. Peace.